Gonna start this off. Welcome to the show.
It's not
Bunch of fucking
turntablism.
bullshit.
It's not
Shut up!
turntablism. It's hip-hop.
I hate you so much.
It is.
Shut the fuck up, Johnny.
Dude, I fucking hate that. Ready? Fuck yeah, dude. So fucking rad. Woo. That was Iron Swan by The Sword on their album Age of Winters. Fucking so rad. I wonder how long I can do this shit on YouTube and not get whatever, like, music canceled from it, you know? Things I hate. 66. Back in the place. Second episode of the second comeback. August 25, 2024. Gang, gang. Here's always my co-host, Schmaltz the dog. Chilling hard. He's such a great guy. Love him. Just gonna make sure this fucking bullshit's out of the way. I get fucked. I'm hot. I'm sweaty a little bit. But I got some popcorn.
So good and tasty?
But I have no...
Gatorade.
None of it. So, you know, what's the deal with that? Soundboard. Trying to use the soundboard more. Very sweaty. Harkens back to doing this shit on Point St. Charles. In Point St. Charles on Center Street. Not there anymore. His popcorn is good. Gang, gang, bitch. Half my clothes are in the Bermuda Triangle. Dude. Half my clothes are in the Bermuda Triangle. Half my clothes are in the Bermuda Triangle. You know what I mean?
Gatorade.
I just like, how are so many of my clothes gone? You know? I was looking at this picture. There's a picture behind this fucking art of me, and I have a sweater in there. I don't know where that sweater went, man. One day it just wasn't in my closet anymore, you know? I feel like that's happened to me my whole life. I have one t-shirt where that hasn't happened, where I've had it like my whole life. My dad got it for me when I was like 16. My dad got it for me when I was 16. I broke my femur, and my dad went and got me a t-shirt. So important to me. Because Pops, you know, I love him, but he was kind of head in the clouds sometimes. But this was like, he's like, really love you. You know, I went and got you this thing. It was really nice. And it was like, had Legend of Zelda written on it, you know? And he was like, I played a lot of video games. He didn't really get the video game thing, but he knew enough to be like, Legend of Zelda. That's what you like, right? So we got Legend of Zelda on the front. And then on the back, it said Murph, right? It's fucking sick. What more could you ask for, you know? So I still have that t-shirt. Love you, Dad. Shouts out. That's the only one. Had that when I was like 16, right? Still have it. It's pretty tight now, but I can still fits, you know, so gang gang. Not too fat. Got a bit of a belly, but not too fat though. But the rest is like, dude, where does this shit go? You know, I don't know if you guys can relate, but I find myself out of nowhere, I'll just remember, I'll be like, I used to have this piece of clothing and now she's gone, you know, and you don't remember losing it. You don't know where the fuck it is. It's just there one day, gone the next. I have this sweater, I don't know where the fuck it is, you know? I don't know. This is probably boring, but it's just like, how do you lose it? Fuck it. I guess that's whack. Okay. Dookie waddle, not necessary. Dude, when you take a shit and then you forget the toilet paper and you're like, oh, and you got to try to spread your butt cheeks and walk down the hall to get the toilet paper. Don't do it, man. Just walk regular, you know? Be a sigma, be an alpha. Don't fucking waddle. Just walk. You know what I mean? Because it's like, first of all, you're about to wipe anyway, so you just clean yourself up lately. If it gets real messy, just hop in the shower, you know? But second of all, like, if you walk, it doesn't get that messy, you know? Everyone, it's like a conspiracy where there's like, you gotta waddle. It's just a sensation. It just feels like it's getting messy, but it's not, dude. Try it out. The other day, you know, had a movement. Shit, no toilet paper. Didn't need to waddle. I walked upright like a fully evolved human, you know, like a grown-ass man, like a fucking pinnacle of Earth's evolution. I walked upright to get a bunch of paper and smear it on my butthole to clean myself up. Truly the pinnacle of evolution, you know. I don't know why North America rejected the bidet, you know. Better for the environment, clean your butt, top tier. Just good. Shouts out your mom house. They've been on this tip for a while. Don't really like Tom Segura anymore. But, you know, those guys did lock this shit down like 10 years ago. They were all up in the bidet, spreading the good word of the bidet. Shouts out. That's a religion I can get behind, you know, the religion of the bidet. Praise be the Holy Trinity of water, temperature, and pressure. Stupid. Yeah, dookie waddle not necessary. I don't know what other conspiracy would be out there like that, but don't need to do that. What else do we got? Watch What Happens Live. It's like Sportsnet. Okay, if you're not a Bravo husband like me, dude, I'm a Bravo. Look at this. Oh, he's a good boy. If you're not a Bravo husband like me, if you don't stay up on the Bravo network, if you don't even know what that means, look, if you're like a fucking bro like me or like a nerd or whatever, and you don't watch reality TV, first of all, great work, you know. Second of all, think about it, because it is Shakespearean, you know. I'll just give a bit of a... So reality TV, the main network for reality TV is called Bravo. And people who watch Bravo a lot are like, I'm really into Bravo. I like the Bravo universe, you know, because it's like, dude, the whole point of what I'm about to say is like, this reality TV shit, the lines are blurred between reality TV, sports, and fucking like comic books and superheroes and shit, okay? Because it's all the same plot of like human nature. I'll illustrate. Okay. Reality TV, right? Real Housewives of a city. So again, for all you fucking bros and nerds, the way it works is like there is a franchise in the Bravo universe called Real Housewives. And basically it is just like rich women of a given city. So the franchise, there's like a franchise in many different cities, and the naming format is like Real Housewives of the city. So like Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of LA, etc., etc. In the reality show, the Bravo reality show called Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, right? Utah, crazy Mormons. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and it was a season finale. I don't know which season. Any lady who's watching this, who's watching reality TV, which I don't feel like is, you know, a large slice of my demographic, but regardless, I don't know the season, so don't ask me for it. There's a season finale in one of them. I'm sure you'll know it anyway, but basically it's like, there's all these ladies, right? They're in some fucking villa somewhere. It's like the final season excursion. And one of the ladies, you know, they're recording her, and she gets a phone call. And the phone call goes something else. She goes, "What? Oh my gosh, shut up. No, there's no way. There's no way." And then she goes to the camera. She goes, get away. Like, There's no way. And you're like, fuck, it just cuts after that. You're like, holy shit, you know, talk about a cliffhanger. So, you know this in the back of your head. The episode continues. This happens at like the start of the episode or like at the end of the second last episode, right? The episode continues, whatever. Some other bullshit unfolds, whatever. Finally, the end of the episode is like a dramatic dinner by the ocean side. They're on like a beach, right? It's like a beach house. It's like fucking kind of a windy night. It's not storming, but it's like windy, dude. The other part of this is like throughout the whole season, there has been some fucking lady on Instagram, Reality Von Tease. That was the Instagram handle. And it was like basically this person, Reality Von Tease, was like talking mad shit about the other ladies on the show. And when I say talking shit, I don't mean like your fucking hair is whacked. They'd be like, your husband is actually gay and retarded. And like, I don't know why you guys got married. And like, they're like, the person, like your dad who got cancer was actually a piece of shit rapist. Like they'll say awful shit, you know, like brutal. And they would fuck up the lives of the other ladies. So it's wild. It's wild shit. But anyway, so this Reality Von Tease person throughout the whole season was saying heinous shit on Instagram and fucking up the lives of the other ladies. So all the ladies were like, who is this bitch? We got to find her. Like, what the fuck is her problem? Like, fuck this lady. Cut to, right, the last dinner of this shit. So the last dinner of the show. So they're out on having dinner on the beach, okay? And it's like the final dramatic dinner, and all the ladies kind of gather around. They talk about some other shit, and then finally, the lady who got the phone call goes, I have an announcement, right? I know who Reality Von Tease is, you know? And they're all like, oh my God, who? And she goes, it's fucking you. And she points to one of the ladies on the show, right? So this lady, the whole couple of seasons of this show was like being friendly and nice and like friends with the women on the show, you know? And she was like, yeah, you guys are cool. And then she would go on Instagram and talk mad shit, like heinous, like your dad smokes crack, like you're a whore, you used to be a stripper, like heinous shit. And she goes, you're Reality Von Tease. And I swear to God, the woman who she pointed at cackles like a fucking evil villain, you know, just ha 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 ha, got you, you know, like crazy shit. And that's reality TV, man. And they had it was like a villain D&D arc where they're like, finally, you see, you've played right into my hands. It was wild. It was fucking insane, you know, but it's real life. So I want to say that all the Bravo heads out there, like, I get it, man. I truly get it. That's what I mean. It's like Shakespearean, you know, it's like et tu, Brute, you know, just, it's real life betrayal. It doesn't get any more, like, drama and entertainment doesn't get any more real than that. You know, how could it? Anyway, so all that to say is that it's like Sportsnet or Marvel. Like, that shit that I just described is straight out of a comic book. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I describe D&D to my girlfriend. Her fucking eyes glaze over. You know, I'm writing a campaign right now. I'm writing a campaign based off the album of the opening song. So I love this band, The Sword. They're a metal band. They have this album called Age of Winters. I'm writing a D&D campaign off of a doom metal album. Like, it doesn't get much fucking nerdier than that, you know? And I described the plot to my girlfriend, and she's fucking, you know, she's losing brain cells. You know what I mean? She flips around and describes the Bravo plot to me. It's the same shit, you know? She has to, it's like a nerd talking about some, like, Star Trek. I'm like, who's that fucking lady, and why is she being a dick? And she's like, wow, in season 2 of franchise X, you know, she wasn't very nice to this person, so this person talks shit over here. And it's like the whole web of interactions. And then, you know, it's just nice common ground, you know, where it's like, you know, nerds and reality TV junkies feels like different universes. It's fucking not, you know what I mean? And I think that's why there's like the Twilight shit. That's kind of the intersection of two, you know, like it's just human nature and drama and entertainment. You know what I mean? And so I'm I'm thinking about this. And then anyway, again, for people who don't know, Bravo has this other show, which is basically like a meta show called Watch What Happens Live, which is essentially Sportsnet, right? It's a show where there's a host. The host of Watch What Happens Live is the producer, the main producer of all these Bravo shows. His name is Andy Cohen. He comes on, he brings on celebrity guests, and they talk about what happens on the reality TV shows. And they talk about it like they're fucking sportscasters. They're like, Hugh Jackman, like, what did you think of the most recent interaction between Kelly and Susie on Real Housewives of Los Angeles? And he'll be like, well, I'm Hugh Jackman and I don't really watch. I'm Hugh Jackman and I have an English accent. They'll be like, he'll be like, they'll just be like, I don't know, like, yeah, that was pretty crazy. I couldn't believe she said that. I think that the reaction she had was a little overkill. I think she's a little bit out of her depth. I don't know how she's going to handle the rest of the season. Like, sounds like a sportscast, and it's so funny because it's like, if you look somebody in the eye and you go, D&D, the Bravo universe, and sports are all the same, they're going to be like, you're out of your fucking mind, But if you break it down, three sides of the same coin, you know what I mean? Pretty sick. Maybe the next D&D campaign I do will be set in the Bravo universe. That'd be pretty fucking wild. But like, yo, if you're a lady who likes Bravo and I tell you, you have the chance to like role play as these ladies and like basically, because here's the thing, basically if I made that, it would be like a long session of me asking women how they think the stars of the Bravo universe would behave in a number of compromising situations, right? Which is the whole fucking Watch What Happens Live show. That's what I mean. It's some nerd shit. It's the nerdiest nerd shit that a lady could do, It's insane. If you like Watch What Happens Live, congratulations. You're a lady nerd. You may as well go move to a library and fucking dig in there. Because it's the same like, well, if I remember correctly, Susie on season 7 of, Real Housewives of blah, 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 had a small dog that was kicked by Becky. And so she hates, you sound like a D&D nerd. And you sound like a sports nerd. Well, his batting average is 25/2. Well, she opens a restaurant that does $45 million a year. It's the same tone. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. And to be clear, not knocking any of these. I love D&D. Not a huge sports guy. Bravo, 50-50, whatever. If you love it, do it. It's all the same. Let's come together. So, hoarding semi-clean clothes. Cut to a pile of semi-clean clothes on my left that I moved off my couch. Dude, I feel like this is how I know it's good that I'm in therapy, because I cannot, if a piece of clothing is semi-clean, as in like I wear it once for a day, I don't sweat that much, and I don't get any like food on it, bro, I can't put it in the wash. That would be wasteful, I can't, it's not used yet. It didn't have a good use of it. It didn't have a good wear,
Gatorade.
I just trying to use the fucking soundboard more. I don't know. I have all these sounds. Oh, fuck, sorry. Oh, shit.
Gatorade.
Nice. I'm trying to use them. But yeah, it's like you have a good wear of it. You don't have a good wear of it. I don't want to put it in the wash. That'd be wasteful. So anyway, then my girlfriend doesn't want us to use hooks because it like she gets it's too visually stimulating for her. Not trying to talk shit. Whatever, fine. No hooks. So I'm a big hook guy. I'm a hooker, you might say. Love a hook. So I love hooks on walls. Throw my clothes on there, semi-clean clothes, take them off the next day, wear them again. Efficiency, top notch, But Kaylin's not that into that. So now I end up having to hoard the clean clothes in my office, semi-clean clothes, in my office, because it's like, she doesn't want them all over the room because just piles of clothes on the floor. You don't want to do that, so they end up here. So now I have this now my office is crazy. So it's just, realistically, I should probably just throw them into the laundry hamper and do a wash. But it's like a compulsion of like, they're not dirty enough yet, you know? They have to be worn a little more before they can be washed efficiently. What else we got? Indian guy, white thumb. Yeah. What level of oppression is it where an Indian person chooses a white thumb emoji? It's either like oppression, colonialism, or absent-mindedness. You know, I was at work and I was messaging an Indian guy in Slack, and he gave me a thumbs up, and it was a white thumb. And I was like, dude, it feels wrong, you know? I don't even want to say anything about it because, like, I'm worried I'm going to get canceled just for saying this shit, you know? But it's just like, that feels like my fault. Talk about white guilt, you know what I mean? If a person of color uses a white thumb, I'm like, fuck, we really did colonize everybody. Jesus Christ, you know? It's echoing into technology 5 generations later, 8 generations later. You know, it's like, God damn, did a fucking number. Realistically, he probably just clicked the wrong button and made it his default. You know what I mean? But, like, you think my white guilt's going to let that go? Never. You know what I mean? What do we got? Oh, order flowers. Okay. I'm not the best brother. You know, I try to be good. I'm okay at it. A nice thing that I try to do every year, I get it most years, sometimes I forget, is my sisters both live in a different city than me, you know, and I try to get them something for their birthday. Now, birthday gifts and gifts in general are controversial to me because it's like, I feel like personally, usually when I get a gift, it's like, this is just garbage, you know. It's like, most of the time, it's like, fuck. God, sounds like such an asshole thing to say. Look, if you get a gift and you don't like it, which is frequently, right? Because gift giving is a hard thing. It ends up being something that takes up space until you work up the courage to throw it out. You know what I mean? Or donate it or whatever the fuck, you know? And so, as a person who hates waste, I don't want to perpetuate that. So I try to get gifts that I know will be of use or can be enjoyed and will not just end up in a landfill, you know, trying to reduce landfill things. I don't know if that's insane, a compulsion or what, but that's my motivation. So for my sisters, most of the time, if I would buy them like an object, a gift, they would just, you know, they'd be very courteous, but I don't see them use it. I don't think they like it, you know, try my best. I think maybe I got them a couple, you know, that they like, but overall just doesn't really work out. So I was like, well, fuck that. If they're just going to, you know, no shit on them, but like if they're just going to toss it, then let's not do this wasteful dance. So for Christmas one year, I stopped giving people gifts for this reason. I just started baking goods. So I just bake people different things. But that is a fuck ton of work. I don't know if you've ever baked. You know, I would do it for my sisters, my parents, and my brother-in-law, just the immediate family. And it's like 7 dishes of baking. It would take me at least 2 days of 8-hour days in the kitchen. It's hard work, you know. So I was like, okay, I did that for like 1 or 2 years. Forget that. So now for my sister's birthday, and I'm not going to mail them brownies, you know, I just get them flowers. And what I do to do it is I call a florist in the city and I have it delivered. I have the florist deliver the flowers to the door. And when I do that, I feel like Jason Bourne, you know, because it's like, you know, cut to a CIA operations room, you know, with a bunch of monitors and like interns at computers typing away and shit. And the head guy in charge is like a guy walks through the door, right? A field agent. And he walks up to the head guy in charge and he goes, "Sir, we have a package ready. We need it to get to our destination." And then the head guy goes, "Do we have agents on the ground?" And the agent goes, "We do." And he goes, "Good, make the call." And that's where I come in and call the florist and go, "Hello, my name is Tom Murphy. I would like to deliver flower to my sister." And the florist goes, "Yes, sir. What will the package contain?" And I go, "Can I have 1 tulip and 1 rose and 1 daffodil and a little bit of green in there? And can you make it pretty?" And the florist goes, Of course, this will be delivered right away. We'll use our heaviest guns and artillery to protect the package on the way. I'm going, thank you very much. Goodbye. And then they do it. And then my sister, I make one phone call, and then I get I hang up. I get a phone call a day or so later from my sister being like, thank you so much. These flowers are beautiful, blah, blah, blah. The reason I say, I'm not a great brother is because it's impersonal. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot of thought that goes into it, which is the whole point of a gift, right? It should be thoughtful, full of thought, as opposed to void of thought, which is an impersonal phone call to a florist I've never met, to their default nice package. I spent a little money, you know what I mean? But it's like, put it over there, dead. It's still a nice gesture. At the end of the day, it shows the person that you're at least thinking of them. If you, don't have the fucking capacity to spare a little bit more thought to put in a more caring gift, which really I have the time to do. So hence the reason why I say, I could be better. But yeah, that's my move. I feel like Jason Bourne. On a separate note, the Bourne movies, you watch them, you're kind of like, I could do that shit. You know what I mean? That's a guy thing. I have a joke about that where, like, every time, like, no matter what we're doing, no matter what we see, half of us is like, I could do that shit. That guy ain't shit. This shit's fucking easy. You know what I mean? It's all the research with none of the it's all the confidence with none of the research, like a chiropractor. That's the joke. Bang, bang, bang. But, dude, you're watching the Bourne movies and you're like, except for the fight scenes, right? Fight scenes, I'm like, well, I can't fight like that. But I feel like most of the time he just, like, walks quickly and, like, puts things in garbage cans. You know what I mean? And then he has a bunch of passports and shit. He'll be, like, with a girl or something. He'll be like, come on, we need to go fast. And then there'll be, like, cops coming down a road, and he'll just be like, he just, like, won't walk forward, right? So the cops see him. That's why the Bourne movies are so cool, because they're kind of just, like, common sense. They're not like, oh, my pen is an X-ray vision that can see through walls. It's just like, no, there's a cop over there on the right, so I'm going to turn left to avoid it, That's what makes it so cool, because he's just doing shit where we're all like, man, if I was calm enough and, like, cold enough where I, like, wouldn't give a shit if I killed people, this is what I would do. It's pure logic, right? That's what makes it cool. So that's why I'm looking at them. I'm like, I could do that shit. I'll pick up the phone, order some fucking flowers at my sister's house in a day. I got plugs all over the country. I got flower plugs. Anywhere you need, I got a flower plug. Anywhere where there's a florist, I got a plug.
Gatorade.
Polite Wars of Canada. Hi, little guy. Polite Wars of Canada. I don't really know. It's like in Europe. Well, I'll be more specific. In Italy, the pace of the streets is established. Like, you drive on the road, you drive on the highway there. People do a bit of lane splitting. It's a little bit wacky, but it's clear. It's very clear. People are not being, like, cunty. They are, like, putting their vehicles in places that you would expect. You're like, that person goes there. Like, you can see what they're thinking, and then you can see them do it. So. Yeah, it's just like they're predictable. They're predictable behavior. And if you looked at it, with no context, you might be like, wow, that's rude, because they're, like, cutting you off and moving in, like, a way that's kind of aggressive. But the thing is like, it might be a little wild. It might be cutting it close, but it's still very clear what they're going to do. And they leave the necessary room for you to react and maneuver as long as you can fall into the rhythm. If you fall into the rhythm of it, it's very easy to move with it. If you try to resist the rhythm, then yeah, you're going to be fucking stressed out. But if you fall in line and into the beat, bro, it's chill. I loved driving there. I had no problem, so. But what I'm trying to say is, like, in Canada, I don't think we have that rhythm because we're all too nauseatingly polite, It's so fucking annoying when you. It's the sidewalk shit again, but it's like driving too. It's like when you pull up to a four-way stop, right? And like either there's a pedestrian waiting at the four-way stop until you arrive there so that they cross. It's like, bro, why are you waiting? It's a stop sign. Just go, you know? Or like same thing if a car gets to a four-way stop before you and they wait, it's like, what's happening here? Or like, you know, if you're a pedestrian and you're walking across the street and there's like this car that's like, should I go? Should you go? Like, you know, who's going to cross first, the car or the pedestrian? And it's like, there's usually enough room for the car to like swoop around in a way that's not going to affect me. And then it's just shitty because it's like passive aggressive politeness where either the car or the pedestrian ends up going like this, like, no, please go ahead. Like some shit like that. And it's just like, we could avoid this if as a country, as a culture, we just fucking sacked up and just cut off a little bit. And then just know that it's not a fuck you. It's just like, dog, no, I'm just going to go right here. Now, I'm sure if many of my friends heard me say this, they'd be like, this is pretty hypocritical because you're one of the most sensitive people I know. You have a podcast literally called Things I Hate where you just bitch about the small decisions that people make and how offensive they are to you. And to that, I would say...
Gatorade.
To that, I would say you're right. But I'd also say get fucked. You know, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm part of the problem, man. I'm in the Canadian zeitgeist, you know, raised Irish Catholic, like fucking guild shit. I don't know. You know, it's all rolled into one. But I'm just, in Italy, it was so refreshing because that rhythm is everywhere. It's on the street. It's on the fucking roads. Like in Italy, no one does the Canadian dance of like, oh, sorry, oh, I'm going that way. Oh, like on the sidewalk, right? Where you try to, everyone just has it figured out. They're like, I'm going here. And like, because they're all kind of a little more confident or whatever you want to call it, it's like it makes the path that you need to take that much more clear. Because like you can see all the paths everyone else needs to take. And you're like, clearly this is my path because I can see so clearly the other ones that are already taken. You know? So just to say Canada, come on, like let's fucking figure it out. Someone somewhere is responsible for ending summer and starting fall. I was in the grocery store yesterday and I saw Halloween candy for sale, right? It is August 25. So that is 30, 31, 61, and 67 days before Halloween. 2 months, over 2 months before Halloween. Look, I'm not the most organized person. I don't have the best forethought. But if somebody told me people need at least 2 months to prep their Halloween candy purchase strategy, I would tell that person, your life is bad and you should think about other decisions. Maybe try therapy to help me, try exercise, you know. But whatever you're doing with your life, you're fucking it up and it's incorrect. So yeah. But you know, the thing is like someone somewhere chose that. That was a decision by a marketing person, like a supply manager, somewhere, someone chose that. My dream for this podcast, I would like to start contacting food manufacturers, you know, fucking, I don't know who makes the Welch's grape snacks that I saw. You know what I mean? Probably like Pepsi. Anyway, let's get that person on air. Let's get them on an interview. I don't have guests on here because talking to people most of the time gives me a lot of anxiety. You know what I mean? And I don't like to be interrupted, and I like to hear myself talk. So, you know, solo. But I will make a sacrifice to get a person who decides that summer is over before the start of September and gets those candies into the store, right? I want to see that, but I want to hold them accountable for the fucking havoc they've wrought on my psyche, on the end of summer, for the murder of the last enjoyable morsels of heat and light before the world dies for the next 8 months. How's that for poetry, you know?
Gatorade.
Halloween edition. Candy is...
So good and tasty.
Yum. Anyway, so... Yeah, I'm sure they must be on. They must be out there, and I want to get on here and talk about them. Dude, that's it. This is probably a short one, but I'm doing it every week, so I only have 5 things on my whiteboard up here that I track my ideas on. They'll probably be shorter. Things I hear will probably be shorter, which could be a better format. Less fat. Fuck it up. Anyway, that's it. Upcoming shows. Nothing right now. I don't know when this is going to come out, but yeah, you can follow me. Like and subscribe because this is going to be on YouTube. So I guess I'll do the fucking bullshit. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Do all that bullshit. Follow me on Instagram, Tom DL Murphy. Follow me on TikTok, Tom DL Murphy. Gang shit. Love you guys. Bye.